Would you say that you see some diminishing returns over time though? So if you spend, 6 months, you might get up to a certain score, and then you spend another 6 months, you might only boost it another 10%, of what you had boosted previously. Do you see some of that? And is that kind of how you help people decide whether or not they're ready to take the exam when their progress is kind of tapered off?
That's a fair point. I think, of course, there are people who might take it 7, 8, or 9 times over the course of a couple of years, and I'm not recommending that. I think at a certain point, maybe 5 or 6 times is the most I would recommend taking it, and then just, of course, take your highest score, apply, and move on with your life. Or if your score wasn't high enough to get into a decent law school, then maybe you want to choose a different career path, and that's okay too. Now, I know that 5 or 6 times might seem like a lot. And I know, Adam, you went to law school, you're doing bar prep, and that probably sounds high to you also. But things have changed. Law schools no longer average multiple LSAT scores. They only take the highest. And so there is more incentive for retaking than there used to be.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, the LSAT's also being offered a lot more frequently than it used to be. It used to only be 4 times a year. Now it's going to be 9 or 10 times a year. And so retaking is easier than ever before because there's always another test date just around the corner. And again, because more and more law schools are making it clear that they do not average the scores, they only take the highest, retaking is worthwhile. Now, 6 months is probably enough time. There are people who take a year to study, and that's okay. I find that actually the people who tend to get the top scores, like 170 plus, a lot of them are studying for 6 months to a year and really brutally dedicated to it like I was. And I'm not saying you have to do that, but depends on your goals. If you want a top 5 school or if you want a full ride, maybe the 170 plus is really important to you. On the other hand, there are some great law schools you can get into with a score in the 160s. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.